Hello everyone, this is Richard with Richard Beer Reviews, and I am reviewing a beer today that I sure hope is good. I'll explain why. I'm reviewing St Arnold's Low Dose. Here it is. The brewery is St Arnold's Low Dose. That's the name. It's an IPA, and Low Dose is a play on basically saying low doses of whatever is in a beer. So it's a low calorie. Instead of saying Coors Light or Bud Light, they're calling it Low Dose. It's an IPA, and that's why I'm saying that I sure hope it's good, because for example, to give you a quick example, the people who drink beer are always complaining because on the fact that beer is very fattening, and beer can be very fattening. The calories in beer, your average lager, which is like your Budweiser, your Coors, your Corona, they have 160 calories. That's your lager. So your ales, they will have about 180 calories to 190 calories. Now, within the ales, when you get to the stronger ales, the stouts or the IPAs, these beers can have from 220 to 300 calories. That's a lot of freaking calories. So we see a lot of light beers, but all of those Corona Especial or Bud Light, Coors Light, those are all lagers. And I think it's easier to make a lager lower calorie, because there are two major contributors in beers that create a problem with calories. Number one is the alcohol content, and that is part of every spirit. Whether you're drinking wine or you're drinking whiskey, the more alcohol you consume, then the more calories. So the easy way to reduce calories, one way is to reduce the alcohol. So you'll see the lower light beers have less alcohol. The other thing that is bad with beers is the carbs. That's why a lot of people, especially when they're watching their figure, they drink wine. Because, for example, a glass of wine might have the same alcohol content of a beer, but the carbs, a glass of wine will have 1 to 2 grams of carbs. A beer will have 10 to 20 grams of carbs. That's why a beer is a lot more fattening than a glass of wine. And that's why you see some of this new low calories. They're not just low calories, they say low alcohol, but they say low carbs. And I think it's when you do that, you take a lot of the to reduce the carbs. Those comes from the grains, from the hops. And it's easier, I guess, to do it on lagers, because lagers have such little taste anyway. And the reason why people drink ales and IPAs and stouts and porters is because of the taste, because of the richness and the fullness of it. So it would be difficult to take that away, because then the beer would not be what you want it to be. But in the spirit of wishful thinking, I would love to be able to drink an IPA that has, let's say, 150 calories instead of 300 calories. And hopefully this is it. This is how Karbach, the brewery, describes his IPA. He says, Low Dose is a flavorful, low-calorie session IPA. They start with the word flavorful because that's the first thing you think goes out the door when you're reducing calories. Using techniques we learn in hopping, and what they're doing is they're doing what's called late hopping and that helps reduce the amount of carbs, and also it allows it to ferment for lesser amount of time, and it therefore less alcohol. So you are doing both things at once. You're reducing the amount of alcohol that will be fermented, and you're also reducing the amount of carbs. And they're using a new type of hop called Brew1, BRU1. I've never heard of it, but I've never done any research on low calorie IPAs. So this beer, obviously, when you take carbs and you take alcohol, you're going to take the flavor down. So what they do is they bring in all these additional flavors. They say they injected pineapple, melon flavors. So this is only a 4.4% ABV, which you might say, to you guys that drink Coors and Budweiser, well, that's not low, but it is for IPAs, because IPAs typically are 7-8% alcohol by volume. So this is almost half of what a normal IPA is. And it's only 118 calories. Woo! 118 calories. This one of my favorite beers I talk about all the time. Dogfish had 120. That one has about 300 calories. It has 118. So I can drink 3 of these bad boys. Let's see. That's what I mean. I hope this damn thing is good, because I did try about a month ago. Somebody gave me a low calorie ale, and that shit was nasty. I couldn't drink it. So here it is. Okay. Normally IPAs have a darker, honeyer color, and this is more, looks almost like a Pilsner, which is expected. I mean, you're taking away the carbs and the different kind of hops, and this is what brings the color. I don't expect, there is some flavor, not as much as you will get out of a strong IPA, but then again, I'm not expecting it to be like a regular IPA, but as long as it just doesn't taste like shit, then it'll be okay. Let's see. So, it's borderline. I think it does have a little bite to it, a little bitterness. I can taste the pineapple, but it has a little aftertaste as you're swallowing it, which is an indication that, hey, have replaced some basic component with some other unsavory components. I don't know what they are, but and as you live with an aftertaste that I don't care for, but when you're drinking it, it's not so bad. I think if I was stuck in the middle of the desert and this is all I had, I'd drink it. But definitely not my favorite beer, but I think you could get used to it, And the fact of reducing 200 calories of beer, that's a pretty good motivator. I hope they no, I even got a bad smell out of it. Well, I can tell you this is this beer is not total crap, but it needs work. But kudos to St Arnold Brewery. It's a brewery here in Houston, for taking this head on, because the only light beers we hear are the lagers, and those are weenie beers to start with. So to get lower calories out of an ale or IPA or a stout That's the real challenge. And to not destroy the flavor of it. That's the real challenge. And it looks like St. Arnold's has taken on that challenge. So kudos to them. And St. Arnold's, for some of you that might not know, is not the saint of beers. St. Arnold is from Belgium, and he is the saint of hop pickers. So if the beer doesn't have hops, technically St. Arnold's has nothing to do with that. So it's the saint that defends or sees after or protects the hop pickers. So it's not the Saint of beer, but it's become associated with Saint of beer, and voila, sounds good to me. It's nice to have a Saint of beers. So anyway, I wouldn't say go out there and buy it, but if you do love IPAs and you're willing to take the sacrifice, then this is an option. Hopefully St. Arnold's will tweak it and make it better. Hope you like this review and give me a thumbs up if you did. See you later, guys.